the house that Jaki built. I'm happy to be here in the house that Jaki built. Twilight soft and thought mid-flight, 1,000 raindrops block perch plate, with a soft concern, a wistful spurn like a blink within evening's darkest night. As I lay myself to bed, a figure comes to me, frozen in sleep and cloaked in time. Faintly he cries to me, I found there is no sin, like whispers lost to dim. Ripples of shadow churn the air, drowning man's every prayer. The England Conservatory and its jazz department faces an irony of existence that in its feeble attempts to reconcile. By virtue of the conservatory existing, an academic and systemized approach is applied to teaching music of a variety of disciplines. The irony that unfolds as a result of trying to teach a music that was never intended to be taught in the halls of academia, a music that was never learned through a curriculum, a music whose pedagogy can't be inscribed in books, a music where the people who study never went to conservatory at all, and a musical tradition that is intentionally anti-institution while being taught in an institution. NEC has long been a pioneer in the education of jazz artists. NEC started the first fully accredited jazz studies program at the conservatory level nearly 50 years ago at the England Conservatory. Our rigorous and open-minded approach to improvisation and composition has been a constant since Jaki, Bayard, and George Russell created the school's groundbreaking curriculum. NEC continues to train the most talented young musicians in the broadest range of styles, while at the same time seeking ways to expand the jazz tradition through the development of students' individual voices. The difficulty of trying to teach a subcategory of Black American music is that it exists as a continuum, but also as a consequence of American history, one in which the artists were actively subjected to torture from the oppressive class that was actively codifying their own tradition and repertoire around Black art and culture, ignorant of its material consequences but eager and willing to incorporate its aesthetics. What has changed? If Black American music exists as a continuum, where do I start telling the story of this music? Should I start in Africa? Should I start at the colonial powers that founded America, freed the slaves? Should I start in the antebellum times? Should I jump in after minstrelsy was no longer a part of the zeitgeist? Oh, I know. Maybe I'll start when we thought it was worth writing down while early jazz players were playing into European notation. Maybe I'll start with ragtime. Maybe I'll start with bird. Maybe I'll skip the part where he pawned up his horn for dope. Maybe I'll start in the civil rights movement. Maybe it's too complicated, but I'll definitely stop before I get to the 90s. And I'll probably stop before the 80s because jazz died in 1959. But jazz is a four-letter word. That Black art and culture exists as a continuum, it is incredibly challenging to discretize the music into a curriculum that is suitable to be delivered over 8 semesters. The resultant NEC jazz education is devoid of historical context, culturally diluted, politically ambiguous, apathetically whitewashed, and morally optional. Devoid of historical context, culturally diluted, politically ambiguous, apathetically whitewashed, and morally optional. Devoid of historical context, culturally diluted, politically ambiguous, apathetically whitewashed, and morally optional. devoid of historical context, culturally diluted, politically ambiguous, apathetically whitewashed, and morally optional. Devoid of historical context, culturally diluted, politically ambiguous, apathetically whitewashed, and morally optional. Devoid of historical context, culturally diluted, politically ambiguous, apathetically whitewashed, and morally optional. Devoid of historical context. Please don't go, although I know your memory will remain. My heart lets out a wandering cry where sorrow blankets shore. When I think back on all this time, I'm grateful for all the same. Remember when we used to play, I'd laugh and call my name. Though the road seems long, I know that love is worth the guilt. I'll stay forever locked inside the house that Jaki built.
Harrison Clark.